Amidst mounting concerns over rising cases of COVID, the Union Health Ministry has written to states and union territories asking them to take necessary action to prevent the transmission of mutated virus. States and UTs have been asked to test, track and treat to stop the spread of the virus. The Health Ministry's move is coming after weekly positivity and death rate have witnessed a spike in few states. Amidst the growing fear of Omicron, the Health Ministry has also asked the states and UTs to check international travellers thoroughly and monitor emerging hotspots. India has reported 4 cases of Omicron so far. 2 cases have been reported in Bengaluru, 1 has been reported in Mumbai and Maharashtra each. According to state government, contact tracing of patients is underway. As Omicron cases are being detected in India, the debate on need for a third booster dose has also reignited. While health experts have suggested third jab for people with weaker immunities, the government has said it is still reviewing the need for this dose. Here's more on the story.
We know that the virus has infected people who have received 2 doses of vaccine. We even know from the Israeli case that there is a person who had received a booster dose of a Pfizer vaccine. Therefore, 3 doses of vaccine and still got infected. So we need much more clinical information.
There is a need and the time is now. That is the word from India's top vaccinologists, doctors, health experts on the third dose or the additional dose for those with poor immunity that may be severely compromised. At a time when the world has been confronted with the 5th variant of concern, Omicron, and India is unspared, there is a growing demand for boosters in India, hoping it would offer further protection to those with compromised immunity. The government so far has said they are studying the need for the additional dose.
बूस्टर डोज के लिए इसके इम्पेरेटिव्स क्या हैं? ये सारा अध्ययन, जब मैंने कहा कि हम जो वैज्ञानिक पहलू हैं इसके, उसको बहुत ध्यान से स्टडी कर रहे हैं, इसके ऊपर पूरी नजर है. It's an ongoing work.
But the world is in a fix, say experts, and we can't wait, as vaccine hesitancy or complacency is also setting in.
There are some concerns for India. Number one, there has been a vaccine hesitancy growing over past 1 month. And rather than having at least 1 crore vaccination per day, we are having 50-60 lakh per day. So we need to escalate vaccination. Number 2, we do not know whether this vaccine will protect this variant or not. And therefore, we need to have newer research and see that this variant is also covered in the vaccination program.
The efficacy is dipping down even to 34 to 44%. Therefore, the urgent need of a third dose, which is now being called as a booster dose, but should be a part of the primary immunization. I think the boosters are extremely important in India. We should have a plan, especially for the healthcare workers, the vulnerable and the elderly with comorbids.
The focus, however, of the government is on the second dose coverage. INSAGOG, the consortium of labs undertaking genomic sequencing, has said that vaccination of all remaining unvaccinated at-risk people and consideration of a booster dose for those 40 years of age and above, first targeting the most high-risk, high-exposure may be considered, since low levels of neutralizing antibodies from current vaccines are unlikely to be sufficient to neutralize Omicron. The risk of severe disease is still likely to be reduced. Sources within the National Technical Advisory Group on Immunization say that they're deliberating on the matter. But just yet, there is little clarity on when the concrete set of proposals for the additional dose or the third dose will be finalized. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani for India Today.
India recorded 4th case of Omicron virus on Saturday in Maharashtra. This comes after another case was recorded in Gujarat's Jamnagar. With the new variant on the prowl, states are stepping up precautions and introducing stricter guidelines. Here's how different states are preparing at the moment.
Omicron variant scare looms large over India. The newly mutated strain has sparked global fears, and India is no exception to this. On Saturday, both Maharashtra as well as Gujarat reported their first Omicron cases, taking the total confirmed cases in the country to 4. Mumbai reported its first case of the African variant. A 33-year-old man who arrived from Cape Town on November 24th through Delhi has tested positive for Omicron. He is a resident of Dombivli. 12 of the passengers' high-risk contacts have tested negative. The Aghadi government has already mandated 7-day home quarantine for all foreign travellers coming from at-risk countries. The BMC on Saturday came out with new guidelines to supervise such international travellers. As per the new guidelines, the CEO of the Mumbai International Airport will send a list of foreign passengers to BMC's disaster management cell, who will forward it to the war room, keeping a tab on these international travellers. The war room team will also take daily health updates from those in home quarantine.
Any violation of these home quarantine rules will lead to legal action against the traveller, and also he will be sent or she will be sent to compulsory institutional quarantine. BMC has said that to control this Omicron variant spread in Mumbai, because so that the cases of this variant does not increase in the city, these new guidelines have been put in place.
Earlier on Saturday, a 72-year-old man also tested positive for Omicron in Gujarat, who came from Zimbabwe via South Africa. The new variant has pushed the states across the country to step up COVID preparedness and restrictions. The Bommai government has now issued fresh guidelines after 2 cases of Omicron were reported in Karnataka last week. Only fully vaccinated people are allowed in public places. Not more than 500 people will be allowed at weddings, meetings and conferences. Events in educational institutes like festivals have been suspended till January 15.
Compulsory testing of health workers, old person above 65 years and persons with comorbidity will be undertaken by the government. The entry to mall, cinema theatre shall be allowed only the person who have vaccinated with 2 doses of COVID vaccine 19.
The government has also decided that any cases, about 3 cases in be it apartment, hostels, schools, will be defined as clusters, and henceforth it was up to 10 cases, but now it has been reduced to anything above 3 cases will be considered as cluster, and sample checking, random sample checking, especially in hostels, schools and colleges, will be taken up by the government.
The administration is trying to trace the first Omicron patient who escaped after taking a COVID negative certificate from a private lab. Government has also promised to track down 10 missing returnees who arrived in Bengaluru with a travel history from South Africa. Delhi is also on its guard after 12 passengers from at-risk countries were found to be COVID positive at the airport. They are under observation at the LNJP hospital.
बाहर के देशों से जो फ्लाइट्स आ रही हैं उनके आने वाले सभी यात्रियों का 100% लोगों का आरटीपीसीआर टेस्ट किया जा रहा है और उनको बिना टेस्ट के नहीं जाने दिया जाए। जिग्नोम सीक्वेंसेस लैब में चल रही है। दिल्ली सरकार की 2 लैब्स हैं, ILBS में और LNJP में, दोनों जगह चल रही हैं और उसकी रिपोर्ट 1 या 2 दिन में आनी स्टार्ट हो जाएंगी।
At the airports, there are guidelines which have been put in place for those passengers who are coming from the countries which are not in the high-risk category. They have to update their data on the Arogya Setu app, which means that the government is keeping a very close eye on all international passengers.
In neighbouring Rajasthan, 9 members of a family tested positive for COVID after 4 of them have returned from a trip to South Africa. Their samples have been sent for genome sequencing. Having learned devastating lessons from the second wave, states are determined not to repeat past mistakes and are taking no chances in tackling the new COVID strain, Omicron. And the focus is once again on testing and tracking. With Aishwarya Paliwal in Delhi, Mustafa Sheikh in Mumbai and Nagarjun Dwarkanath in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today.
In an exclusive conversation with India Today, the Agenda Aaj Tak 2021 conclave, BJP National President JP Nadda assured of winning more than 300 seats in upcoming UP polls. Setting aside all the rumours, BJP chief said his party is going to be fighting the crucial UP polls under the leadership of Yogi Adityanath. He also hinted that Yogi will be the chief minister of UP if the BJP comes back to power. BJP chief also did not mince any words while attacking Priyanka Gandhi. JP Nadda called Congress General Secretary a reader and not a leader. BJP chief said Priyanka acts just before the polls and by reading written speeches, she can't make a difference. BJP also hit out at Samajwadi Party chief, calling him product of dynasty politics. JP Nadda said Akhilesh can compromise national interests for the sake of votes.
ये अखिलेश जी का जो चैलेंज आप सब लोग कहते हैं, मैं ये मानता हूं कि ये जितने भी वंशवाद के प्रोडक्ट हैं, ये सब सुपरफिशियल थिंकिंग रखते हैं और ये सब लोग सतही तौर पर ही विचार रखते हैं।
कहीं आप ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया के बारे में तो
नहीं, मैं अखिलेश के बारे में बोल रहा हूं, मैं उन लोगों के बारे में बोल रहा हूं जो वंशवाद के दृष्टि से निकल करके आए हैं। और मैं ये भी कहना चाहता हूं कि ये लोग सतही तौर पर सोचते हैं, सुपरफिशियल सोचते हैं, वोटों की झड़बड़ी में रहते हैं और वोट आने के लिए क्या कॉम्प्रोमाइज किया जा सकता है, चाहे वो नेशनल इंटरेस्ट के साथ कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो, तो उसके लिए भी तैयार रहते हैं। ये मानसिकता जो है, ये इसको मैं बहुत ही चिंताजनक मानता हूं और मैं इसको एक चैलेंज मानता हूं और मैं अखिलेश जी को भी उनकी पार्टी के लिए और उनके लिए खुद को वो चैलेंज है, ये मैं मानता हूं।
5 राज्य में से कितना जीतेंगे? यूपी का आपने कह दिया है, हमने रिकॉर्ड करके रख लिया 300 प्लस सीटें। इलेक्शन के बाद इंटरव्यू में
बिहार में भी मुझे रिकॉर्ड किया था। मैं एक ही बात कहना चाहूँगा, हम जहाँ सरकार में हैं वहाँ हम सरकार बना रहे हैं। गोवा, उत्तराखंड, उत्तर प्रदेश, मणिपुर और पंजाब में बहुत अच्छा वातावरण बन रहा है। दिन प्रतिदिन वातावरण अच्छा हो रहा है, उसको हम आगे बढ़ाएंगे।
5 राज्यों में से कितनी मिलेंगे? बस आखिर
4 तो हम आ ही रहे हैं और 5वें में हमारा वातावरण अच्छा बन रहा है, हम जरूर आगे बढ़ेंगे।
योगी जी ही अगले मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे ना अगर जीत हासिल होती है तो?
देखिए, हम उनके नेतृत्व में चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं और उनके नेतृत्व में ही हमको आगे जाना है और इस बात को मोहर पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड लगाती है, लेकिन उनके नेतृत्व में हम जा रहे हैं।
और बीजेपी जीती तो?
जी।
आपका मन यही है ना, वही बनेंगे ना?
होना यही है।
अच्छा, यही होना।
हाँ, उनके नेतृत्व में हम लड़ रहे हैं, बिल्कुल उनके नेतृत्व में लड़ रहे हैं और उनके ही नेतृत्व में पार्टी सरकार में आ रही है।
Home Minister Amit Shah will kickstart BJP's Mission 2023 for Rajasthan in the capital city of Jaipur. Amit Shah's visit comes after BJP suffered crushing defeat at the hands of Ashok Gehlot-led Congress. BJP's Rajasthan unit is also marred by infighting between former Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje Scindia and State BJP President Dr. Satish Poonia. Shah will travel to Jaipur from Jaisalmer, where he will meet border security forces personnel yesterday. The Home Minister is going to travel to Jaipur after attending an event associated with BSF. He will be taking part in BJP State Working Executive Committee meeting at Jaipur Exhibition and Convention Centre to chalk out party's plan for 2023 Rajasthan Assembly polls. After the meeting, he's going to be addressing 10,000 party workers under Panchayat to Parliament program. It would involve BJP's local body representatives from nearby panchayats, urban local bodies and cooperative societies. Home Minister is also going to be having a meeting with State Core Committee of the BJP.
तकरीबन 450 लोग।
Punjab Congress Chief Navjot Singh Sidhu has once again stirred a controversy with a new comment on relationship with Pakistan. Speaking at an event in Punjab's Amritsar, Sidhu backed the resumption of trade with Pakistan. He also said and requested that trade begin again, and he's doing so once again as reopening trade will only benefit all. The Congress leader also said that employment will become the biggest issue this election season, and he has the vision to transform the state. This is not the first time he's sparked a row over his pro-Pakistan comments. Just 2 weeks ago, he called Imran Khan his elder brother, a comment that led to a big political face-off.
275,000 करोड़ रुपया स्कोप है। It is called 37 billion US dollar. 1 billion 100 करोड़ ਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿਰਫ 3 ਬਿਲੀਅਨ US ਡਾਲਰਸ ਦਾ ਵਪਾਰ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। not even 5%, 5% ਵੀ ਉਸ ਪੋਟੈਂਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਯੂਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇ 4000 ਕਰੋੜ ਰੁਪਏ ਦਾ ਪਿਛਲੇ 34 ਮਹੀਨਿਆਂ 'ਚ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕਿਆ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ 15000 ਜੌਬਸ ਹੈਵ ਬੀਨ ਲੋਸਟ। ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਲਾਅ ਐਂਡ ਆਰਡਰ ਨੂੰ ਛੱਡ ਦਈਏ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਮੁੱਦਾ ਇੰਪਲੋਇਮੈਂਟ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੈ ਰਹੇਗਾ। ਮੈਂ ਫੇਰ ਇਲਤਜਾ ਕਰਦਾ, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਆਇਆ, ਅੱਜ ਫੇਰ ਇਲਤਜਾ ਕਰਦਾ
ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ 34 ਦੇਸ਼ਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਪਾਰ ਖੁੱਲਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ।
On behalf of Prime Minister साहब,
अरे
के पाकिस्तान सबकी तरफ से आपको खुश आमदीद।
मेरा बड़ा भाई,
Very warm,
मेरा बड़ा भाई, उसमें बहुत क्या।
We have been waiting for this day for so long. Very warm welcome.
Thank you.
Leaders of Samyukt Kisan Morcha held a meeting to decide the future course of agitation. The farm body has said that they will not go back home until cases against farmers are withdrawn. Here's all that we know so far.
2 days after the farm laws were officially scrapped, farmers have refused to budge. After a 4-hour-long meeting on the future of the movement on Saturday, the Samyukt Kisan Morcha declared there will be no end to the farmer stir till cases against protesters are withdrawn.
जब तक केस एक किसान के ऊपर भी है, हम नहीं लौटेंगे। तो कल हरियाणा के सीएम से बात हुई है, लेकिन अभी मसला अधूरा है। आज क्लियर कट सिग्नल चला जाएगा हमारे देश की सरकार नू कि किसान आंदोलन को वापस कर लेने वाले नहीं।
A 5-member farmers panel has been constituted by the Samyukt Kisan Morcha to hold talks with the government on their pending demands. PKU leader Rakesh Tikait, who has been spearheading the protests for over a year, said the movement is far from losing steam.
बुलाई नहीं है तो ये 5 जो लोग हैं वो क्या करेंगे?
और जब बुलाओगे चले जाएंगे, नहीं बुलाओगे नहीं जाएंगे।
तो इसके बाद 7 तारीख को क्या डिसाइड होगा?
यही मीटिंग करेंगे फिर।
तो वापसी होगी?
कोई वापसी नहीं है।
Putting the onus on the government, farmers say it's up to the centre to decide when the agitation will end.
Did Home Minister Amit Shah hold a meeting with these leaders?
One thing is that they were in touch, definitely. They were in touch.
Mr. Rajewal and Yudhvir.
They were in touch, and there's there's no secret about it. This was in the last few days after the repeal of the farm laws.
Farmers have 6 demands, including a law on MSP and withdrawal of all cases against protesters. The SKM has also demanded compensation for deceased farmers, decriminalization of stubble burning, sacking of Union Minister Ajay Mishra Teni, and lastly, the withdrawal of Electricity Bill 2020. Farmers have not moved from Delhi borders, and 1 year on, it seems the protesters are in no mood to relent.
What we do understand that the next meeting is now being scheduled on the 7th of December, and because some positive signs have been seen by the farmers from the side of the government, they hope that probably the logjam can end on the next given meeting. With video journalist Saurav from Singhu, this is Shah Chatterjee for India Today.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us on India Today. On a day when Ajaz Patel's 10-wicket haul grabbed the headlines, it was India who took firm control of the second and final test after bowling the Kiwis out for just 62 in their first innings. With a 332 lead run, India found themselves in a pole position after a day that saw 16 wickets fall. Here is how it all transpired in Mumbai.
Dominance, sheer dominance. India are in the driver's seat in the Mumbai test after day 2.
Dominic Cork just mentioned these two seamers, nice and fresh. Excellent length that. And some big names.
While Mumbai-born Ajaz Patel, the Black Caps' left-arm spinner, became only the 3rd man in history to pick up all 10 wickets in an innings, he couldn't stop India from taking total control of the test.
Only the 3rd bowler in the history of test cricket to get 10 wickets.
India, though, didn't start the day too well, losing both Ridhiman Saha and Ravichandran Ashwin in the same over.
Make that 6 straight past the edge. Nicely played.
However, Mayank Agarwal and Akshar Patel's 67-run stand ensured India got past the 300-run mark.
Test match half-century for Akshar Patel.
In reply, New Zealand's innings never really took off.
A little bit of extra bounce.
Mohammad Siraj ran right at the beginning of their innings. Will Young, Tom Latham and Ross Taylor all gone inside 6 overs. While Siraj provided the early impetus, the spinner soon took over to run through the Kiwi lineup.
Certainly not going down, given out, I think.
Ashwin picked up 4. Akshar snaffled a couple and Jayant Yadav too grabbed a wicket as New Zealand crashed to 62 all out, their lowest ever total against India. Despite a 263-run lead, Virat Kohli didn't enforce the follow-on. With Shubman Gill nursing an elbow injury he suffered during the Black Caps innings, Cheteshwar Pujara was sent to open alongside Mayank Agarwal.
Innings underway.
The Indian pair never looked in any sort of trouble as they kept sending the ball to the fence.
4 to Mayank Agarwal.
India motored along to 69 for no loss at stumps and are now heavy favourites to win the game by a huge margin.
Congratulations and the plaudits that
Sports Bureau, India Today.
Deserving of Ajaz Patel.
After much uncertainty and doubt over India's tour of South Africa due to Omicron variant, the BCCI has confirmed that the Indian team will be going to African nation later this month. The tour, though, will not start on the scheduled date and has been pushed back to Boxing Day. Here is all you need to know.
That they have the upper hand.
India's tour of South Africa. A tour that's supposed to start later this month, and yet it has grabbed more headlines than the ongoing series between India and New Zealand.
Their spinners have already indicated that they are going to play a major.
All because of the new COVID-19 mutant, Omicron. This new variant has already caused enough panic, with several nations banning flights from South Africa to counter the spread of the virus. While other touring teams are scrambling to get out, Team India is all set to travel to the African nation later this month. The BCCI has confirmed to India today that India's tour of South Africa will go ahead despite the COVID threat. Earlier, India was scheduled to play a full series that included 3 tests, 3 ODIs and a 4-match T20 international series starting December 17. But now, India's tour will start on Boxing Day with a 3-match test series followed by a 3-game ODI series. The T20 internationals, though, will be rescheduled for a later date. BCCI's decision to give the green light, though, raised a few eyebrows, especially since the Netherlands cricket team called off their ODI series against South Africa midway only a few days back. But with assurances of a watertight environment from Cricket South Africa, the BCCI have agreed to play the series even if it gets curtailed. In fact, India's A team is currently in South Africa and will feature in their final 4-day game starting from December 6th. And now Virat Kohli and his men will soon be on the flight out of the country. Sports Bureau, India Today.